Welcome to another edition of In the Divide, where we are sharing all things crypto together with Algorand. Hopefully, everyone's doing good today. Went to bed with some great news, some Algorand news. People, come on in, hit the comments below. Let me know what you think of the content. I'm doing some new things. Like, share, let the algorithm know I'm there. Uh, Algorand. So now Algorand has a partnership. If you've known or if you've followed my channel for any length of time, you know I do some deep dives and things of that nature. And probably last year, I let people know that Algorand was doing some things as far as educational, reaching out in different areas. In India was one of the main places where they were emphasizing education. One of the things I want you to understand about one of Algorand's core moves that it was making before it actually was trying to figure out marketing, um, it was trying to establish a next generation of developers, the education of providing that Algorand is going to be in schools, educating the next crop of developers as far as the programming language, because everyone so far was using and comfortable with the developing language of ETH, and because that was the primary language that people started off with. That's what people went into. So Algorand's PyTeal and Reach and things of that nature, it wasn't as adopted in the culture of developers. It was not the main thing. So what they was trying to do was find ways to implement where the next developers of coding and engineers and will be able to understand and put Algorand's language right up there next to ETH, because it is taught in school as a basis of the coding and instruction that they were getting. And this was one of the phases that they did, and they were not necessarily they were everywhere. They had the accelerator program. If you've known about um, Algorand, it has a couple of accelerator programs, and it has some things that it did in Asia and in India. So now some of the things are coming to um, public acknowledgement. I'm going to say fruition, but public acknowledgement. So what this does is it gives Algorand a boost as far as market, because once the market shares it, it becomes real. Even though Algorand was doing this behind the scenes and implementing this already, it was something that's basically um, didn't get much hype. So, what I wanted to do, I wanted to show you. So, Web3 goes to school in India. Algorand announces game changing partnerships. This was all set last year. I should put links in the description to show you that I was telling you this last year. And like I said, if you do your research and due diligence, you can kind of find out what's going on. Algorand was making these moves last year. So, Algorand is in India. Another thing I want to tell you, a lot of people look for America to be the first movers, and people want America to be the first movers, but it may not be. And the reason why I'm telling you this is that If you are looking for America to be the first mover in crypto, you may be left behind in some of the investment opportunities and looking for some of the crypto and some of the advantages in the market. Because if it starts in South America or in Asia or in India or in Europe, people are looking for, the United States to have its stuff together, and it just may not. So India is one of the places where there's a need for alternative financial systems more than the United States. These alternate places where they need systems in place where the people will be able to primarily take advantage of their own money. Guess what? These places are more likely third world countries. It's not first world countries. It's going to be countries or places in Africa. It's going to be places in South America. These places are going to be really incentivized to use the blockchain because it's cheap and efficient and it's private, especially if you hold your own keys. But once you get to these central bank currencies and stuff like that, they're going to on ramp crypto regardless because there's going to be a place for crypto. And it's just going to be how it's going to be intertwined. So we have to be able to engage in some of these things and understand there's going to be some things that we don't like coming along, like the CBDCs. They're going to come. It's going to be how crypto is going to be able to interact with them. Because what the digital, uh, the central bank digital currency is going to end up being, it's going to be a form of government, a stable coin. It's going to be what they want us to use to operate in their system because that gives them, of course, control, ability to tax and do things of that nature. But as long as the community, the world continues to use cryptocurrency, they cannot deny it because we choose the means of currency, not them. It's the people that understand we all agree on this. And if we agree that Bitcoin, we agree that Ethereum, we agree that Algorand is a currency that we want to use, that currency will be put into place. And they will just have to accept it and be able to find a way to incorporate that with their CBDC. But we can keep our privatized coins in our banks, and it's just like I said, it's going to be figured out how we're going to be able to marry these things together. So I want to actually add one more thing because I'm telling you why I looking at India as one of the places where we want to focus because they're already doing the work to establish regulations for cryptocurrencies. And they're not just doing it for them in their own isolated thing. They're working with the IMF and the FSB to the crypto regulations. They're part of the G20. And what that is these are economics uh, 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 these are the economic engines of a lot of different countries. And what they're doing is if you partner with all these people, all these different nations to come up with an understanding, it don't matter what America does. America is going to have to either come in and get along because the institution, the base layer is going to be set. And these policies on how to regulate cryptocurrencies is going to be already set in stone. And America will have to come in later on and get in where they're fit in. So I'm telling you right now, if you do your due diligence, look at some of these things that's going on, not just in America, but around the world, because all these things are going to end up linking together because they're doing a little bit here in South America where they're trying to test out Bitcoin. They're doing things in Africa and trying to see if they can onboard people who are not banked. All these things are disconnected right now, but they all connected, and it all has digital, has cryptocurrency at the base layer. Is how we're going to be able to use this system not only for the institutions, but for the people. And this is going to be one of the great, they better be talking about the transfer of wealth. This is going to be the single most important transition into generational wealth that's ever been. I want you to understand this. This is going to be the most singular point where generational wealth is going to be built and transferred in the history of the world. And normal people, if they understand where you are in this environment, in this day and time, you, with the ability to put something up and understand what's going on, you may be able to ensure a future for not just you, but maybe some of your family. This is Sam Houston, and we're in the divide. We're hoping that your tomorrows are better than your today. We're out.